Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's Big Brother Canada chat.
Oh, hi, are you ready to party?
Yeah, sorry I have gum right now, but I'm trying to, not cough every 5 seconds, so.
Well, it's episode 4. No one gives a crap about your cough.
I know.
It is the 250th episode
Whoa!
of BB Can.
That's wonderful.
It is, thank goodness. Alright, so last time, Jay and JC Lynn were nominated.
Yep.
Wow. And Jay had on their alien pasties on his little
Love
nipples.
that.
So Gino is finding himself in a very precarious position.
Mm-hmm.
He's right smack dab in the middle between his French old man and his showmans.
Not the showmans.
Oh, the showmans.
They're really freaking pushing this, and those two just kissed today for the first time.
Really?
So, let's not act like they're, in love, you know what I mean? It's a bit much. I'm just a little salty because I feel like the showman segment tonight could have been removed and something else, really important could have been put in, but we'll get there.
Well, Jay is bringing the fashion.
Yes.
Thank goodness somebody is in that house.
I know, right?
It's kind of bland.
Yeah. They had a fashion show on the feeds yesterday, which I'm hoping we'll get to see on the show at some point, because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Apparently, Jay has all the clothes in the world.
All the good ones, anyway. All right. So, JC Lynn is up on the block, and she's realizing, I should probably talk to more people. Yeah.
Stop playing the game.
Not just talk to Gino and Steph. So, she's trying to talk to more people. She's talking to Kevin, and she's like, oh, I feel like we have a bond because we've both been up on the block now.
And Kevin's like...
Yeah. Kevin is playing up the whole, I don't know what I'm doing, and no one talks to me, and
Is Kevin playing emo?
Kind of.
Emo, light coma.
I mean, at first when I was seeing this on the
feeds,
feeds,
he barely has a pulse.
I felt bad because I thought it was legit, and then I was like, nah, Kevin is playing this up. This is part of his gameplay. He wants people to think that he is this wounded animal, and they're gonna, bring him back to health, and he's gonna be so loyal to them.
You gotta admire it, because he's
it's
really
working.
selling it.
Yeah, it's working.
He's really selling it. Alright, well, he says, well, I don't think Marty will put me up on the block, so I'm rooting for you to win the veto.
Yeah, that's not true, though, because Kevin definitely was worried about going up on the block.
With good reason.
Okay.
Kevin, yeah, good for Kevin. I mean, he's the ultimate villain, I feel like, if he can stay in the game.
He's putting in the work.
Alright, so Summer, this is our little girl power. There was no episode yesterday on International Women's Day, so today we have the girl group going for their affirmations in the telephone room.
Whoa, yeah, they got all those mirrors all the way around, so it's perfect to visit each mirror and say something nice to yourself.
Everybody pretty much did that except for JC Lynn. JC Lynn's was more of a I have to stop sucking. I have to do this. I have to. That's not an affirmation, honey.
You have to wonder how much of that is because of her figure skating background. You know how tough these athletes are on themselves.
Of course. So, the girl group in the telephone room was Betty, Summer, Helena, and JC Lynn.
All right.
We're only missing Tanisha for that alliance.
That's not an alliance.
It's not.
JC Lynn's not working with them.
No, not JC Lynn, but if you swapped out JC Lynn for Tanisha, then you would be
correct.
the...
man down.
Man down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you. So, Jay and Josh, oh my god, I love these two in the house.
I'm so glad we got to
friendship
see
is beautiful.
A segment with the two of them, because they have really been a lot of fun to watch.
I love their queer alliance.
They're able to relate to each other, and that's something really special in the house.
I love that they have cast them.
Mm-hmm.
I love the casting this season.
Yeah.
I think everybody has somebody.
It's a great group
they can identify with. There's no outcasts really.
Well, there's outcasts, but most of the outcasts have other people that they can...
The outcasts have outcasts.
Yeah.
Everybody's got somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so Helena and Josh are talking, and
They both want to keep Jay this week because Jay is better for their games.
Jay is a big target in the house. The whole house is against Jay, it seems like.
I mean, at
Except
least
for-
all those
Except for
bros.
Josh.
Yeah. Josh, of course, is super tight with Jay.
Yeah.
But they're like, hell yeah, if Jay is up on the block against JC Lynn, we can make this happen. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's time to pick players for the veto, and there's no...
No.
There's a wheel.
Wheel
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
players.
Yeah. I have to say, I enjoy the wheel more than I do the bag.
I like the wheel too.
Every time they would pull out the bag in the past, I would be like, what tiles are actually in there? And, you know, are they feeling around for the names? And I don't like that.
This just feels fun, and it really fits the theme of
It does feel
the
fun.
game show.
I just don't like that stick. What if somebody tripped and they got that in the eye or something?
Ooh, I can't even think about that.
I don't like that stick sticking up.
Yeah.
But the picks were Jay picked Helena, or Jay spun Helena. JC Lynn picked Josh,
Yep.
and Marty picked Betsy.
Yes, but just a reminder, the HOH does not play in the Power of Veto. So
Right.
Marty got to pick someone, but he's not actually playing.
Yeah. All right, so this is the part of the show where I was eating dinner and
This
I
was
wanted to
gross.
throw up.
This was gross. Okay. Herman and Marty were talking in the HOH room. Sure, fine. But then...
The door pops open to the bathroom, to the toilet room.
Yeah, not the bathroom. The toilet.
The toilet cubicle. Excuse me, can I just have a 2-minute rant here?
Yes.
Big Brother Canada used to have a freaking curtain in the toilet area. And they went through the trouble of framing out walls and a door.
Yeah.
Not for you to pop it open with your underwear dragging on the floor, taking a dump in the bathroom cabinet. No, you don't open
That was
that
Gino,
door.
by the way.
You keep that to yourself. Nobody wants to know what's going on in there. I don't care if they're bros. I don't care if they're sisses. I don't care who you are. You keep your bathroom poops to yourself. Because he was definitely sitting down, not peeing. He was pooping.
I mean, some people, like some guys, pee sitting down too. But I think that was probably a two.
But he was doing a twosie.
It doesn't matter. That door needs to stay closed. That was too much. I'm scarred now.
And nobody even blinked an eye about it. They were just like, hey, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So,
No,
anyway.
women wouldn't do that.
Marty was saying that he does not want JC Lynn to go home this week. And of course, Gino doesn't either because he likes her. So, Marty is thinking, crap, what am I going to do?
Literally.
Yeah. What am I going to do if the veto is used this week? Who am I going to put up as a replacement?
Well, he might have to go back on his deal and put up stuff.
I mean, they made that deal during the HOH competition, but if it comes down to it, Marty wants to make sure that Jay is going to leave this week.
All right, well, fresh from his toilet meeting, Gino goes and talks to JC Lynn. Showmance, baby. They are falling in love.
I'm sorry, but they're like really pushing the showmance thing. It's just like too much.
Did he tell her about the toilet meeting? Because if he did, I would hope that would be a deal breaker.
It's a deal breaker.
All right, so we have a meeting with Jess and Kevin. We personally had a meeting.
Yes. No, this was really interesting to me because Jess was explaining in the diary room that the reason that they voted against Kevin last week was to hide working with him. Now, I did not think that that was the case. I didn't think that there was anything going on really until Helena encouraged Jess and Kevin to talk more. And this conversation that we were seeing was after Helena was like, hey, I think we can all work really well together.
You think Jess just painted it as...
I don't know. It was kind
or
of...
the show did that, or...
Maybe. It didn't really make sense to me. I mean, there could have been stuff going on before that we just didn't know about. Maybe Helena didn't even realize that Jess and Kevin were so close because they were talking about how they're trying to pretend that they're not good with each other. It's interesting, though. I like the two of them working together. It's a really interesting dynamic because Kevin even said at one point, like, you annoy me.
Yes.
And Jess was like,
yeah.
cool.
Of course I do.
Yeah, and I like that. So it's a fun
they
fun
don't
duo.
particularly like each other.
But that doesn't matter in this game. You can work with people that you don't actually like.
I think that's a smart thing to do. Mm-hmm. All right, so now it's time for the POV comp. While our dog angrily chews a nylabone.
Wait, I have to say, too, Big Brother Canada really did us dirty with this episode because if you haven't been keeping up with the live feeds, there was a whole confrontation between Jay and Kyle that was not shown on feeds, but we heard about it later, in which Jay told Kyle, if I stay, I'm coming after you, I'm coming after Marty, Gino, Herman, and Moose.
Oh.
And it was awkward.
I guess it would be, right?
It was awkward, but it was like a huge thing on the live feeds later. Mm-hmm. And there was more drama after that, after the Power Veto competition, which I'll talk about in a bit. But they didn't show any of it on the show tonight.
That's because we need showmans. We need soft porn.
Like, couldn't we have cut out a few things and shown those confrontations, which were, like, really interesting to watch?
You mean like the affirmations or the showmans?
Yeah.
Or...
we didn't need all that.
Okay. So it's time for the POV comp, and it's called Master Baker.
All right. Canadian Bake Off.
Or Master Baker.
Master Chef.
Master Baker. All right, so yeah, third time you got it.
No, I knew what you were doing.
So Summer popped out of the cake as the host of the competition.
It was a cute hosting outfit.
And she was super fun. She was super high energy. And the whole point of this was very Survivor-y.
It was very Survivor, for sure.
You had to build a giant BB can wedding cake. And
I guess it's for showmans.
A showman's cake. And each layer had a different amount of pillars. And the pillars were broken down into pieces. But different the pieces segments. Weren't all even.
Yeah.
But they all had to be the same height. Or they wouldn't, your cake would topple over. And I believe it was like 4 layers.
Yeah. It was a pretty tall cake. This was a very difficult competition.
Very difficult.
As you stacked up each layer, you had to carry the whole cake across
a rolling pin. You had to actually lift it up and put it down and continue along the conveyor belt.
There was a conveyor belt, but you had to go over the rolling pin.
And then you had to take it off the conveyor belt and put it on the work table, too.
Ooh, a lot of room for error there.
I would be in tears over this.
There were many mess
ups and thrills.
Yeah. Like somebody would be really far into it, and then they would dump theirs, and then somebody else is in the lead, they would dump theirs.
It almost seems impossible, but then I remember back to Survivor Challenge where they basically had to do this with their feet.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yeah. So JC Lynn had a spill on the 3rd layer. I would have sat on the floor and cried.
Yeah. Actually, I think it was 5 layers total now that I think about it. The top one was just that, like, the
there
topper.
Was 4 pillars.
Yeah, 4
layers.
Yeah. And then the topper.
So really the only people who cared about winning this were Jay and JC Lynn, so they were the ones who were like close to winning.
Yeah, they were definitely in the lead for most of the competition.
And we were getting close to the end, which I thought this was going to be going on for hours, but I don't think it was that long actually. It was only over an hour.
I mean, once you figured out how the pieces work together, it was quick to start it up again.
So, Jay dumped their cake.
It was a big dump.
And JC Lynn was quite shaky, but managed to pull out the win.
Whoa.
So
saving herself from the block.
She won the POV. And Jay was so upset.
Yeah, Jay was crying after the competition.
Josh was comforting them. And
that was very sweet.
I just felt terrible.
I wonder if some of the tears were because Jay had earlier told Kyle, I'm targeting you and all the guys. And now Jay was relying heavily on winning that power veto, and it didn't happen, so yikes.
All right. Well, Stephanie's worried about being the renom.
Mm-hmm.
Because, she knows.
She's hearing, Marty is thinking about breaking the deal and putting her up on the block. He's afraid that Stephanie is going to target him, so she's like, I better not be going up.
Yeah, right? So, Betty and Jess have a chat, and Betty said that Marty said that she is safe.
He's been telling her that
Betty's
throughout
not
the week.
Worried.
Yeah. She should be. Because Marty is a mess. This HOH week has been a mess.
Very messy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know messy?
Yeah.
So, Marty and Kyle, have a meeting.
Where are we? No, I thought we were here.
Oh. Marty talks to Jess.
Okay.
And
Jess does not want Kevin to go up on the block because Jess is working with Kevin, and Jess also is kind of working with Jay.
Mm-hmm.
So Jess does not want
them
a
both
possibility where one of them will be guaranteed to go.
Choose between the two of them.
Yeah.
All right. So
Jess is trying to talk Marty out of putting up Kevin, and it's working. It's definitely getting there because Jess is saying, look, if you put up Kevin, there's a good chance that vote is going to flip and Kevin's going to go. And Jay, who you're terrified of, is going to stay.
And they are not lying. All right. So now Marty and Kyle have a meeting, and thank God the toilet was not involved. Marty is worried that Kevin's going to go home. If he puts Kevin up against Jay.
Yeah, so Kyle's like, why don't you put up somebody else? Why don't you put up, like, Betty? Betty's not good at competitions. She can't compete her way out of a paper bag. Yes, he did say that. So
that is so cold. And
yeah,
Betty is also going to be a vote for Jay to stay.
That's what they're thinking. So they're like, you know what? Let's take away Betty's vote. Let's guarantee that Jay leaves. Just put Betty up on the block. It doesn't matter if you've been telling her that she's safe this week.
Just felt icky.
Yeah.
All right. So Betty and Kevin have a meeting, and
Kevin's doing his all, I don't want to go up on the block.
I don't know. What should I do?
Yeah.
Do you think I'm in trouble?
Betty's being very sweet and being like, I hope you don't go up either.
Maybe you should talk to Marty.
Maybe you should talk to Marty. Oh, he will. Betty, be careful.
All right, she doubles down on it and says that would be horrible to go up on the block. Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so Marty and Kevin have a beer. I'm sorry, but that beer looked like toilet water. A glass of toilet water.
Not a beer person.
Is this a 4-point whatever? Or a...
Yeah.
I don't know, but it didn't look good.
So...
It probably wasn't cold either. It was probably one of those warm
I thought they got it out of
ones.
the fridge.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're talking about the renom, of course. Kevin does not want to go up on the block. And Marty's like, well, I was thinking about putting up Betty. What do you think? And Kevin's like,
oh.
It's not me! Woo! So he's all for it.
I'm for that.
Yeah.
All right.
So before we get into the POV ceremony, I just want to say more of what they did not show in this episode with the Jay and the Kyle thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, after the competition, actually went to Kyle and was asking for help to stay, which is wild. And Kyle was like, why would I help you when you said you were going to target me if you stay? And Jay was like, things change every day. So they ended up kind of getting into it. It got a little intense. And, yeah, it was
ugly. Not
a good look for Kyle, for sure. I mean, Jay had a lot of guts to be like, can you help me? But
yeah,
Kyle is coming off very overconfident for me. And very, like, bros to the end. And it's not the most fun thing to watch. But Kyle was doing retells of this conversation with Jay. Yeah. And at one point, Jay actually walked in during the retells. And was awkward. Like, well, do you want to hear my side of the story? It was pretty wild.
Well, there's 3 sides to every story.
Yeah.
Yours, mine, and the truth.
Well, we see it all on the feeds.
That's right.
No, we don't see it all because the feeds are down a lot. But we see a lot.
Well, it's time for the POV ceremony. And JC Lynn, no surprise here, uses the veto on herself.
I mean, yeah, of course. Right?
You'd have to be a dum-dum not to do that, even though she was just a pawn. So, Marty's target is Jay. We know. So I was really surprised that Marty was like, all right, you're my target, and to ensure that you're going to go home. That's kind of bold to like...
He already told Jay to their face that they're the target this week, remember?
Yeah, but I mean to keep saying it and like in a ceremony in front of everybody.
Marty, I don't know if you noticed this. Marty's got a big mouth. And Marty has been spilling everything this week. So it's
Aren't
not
there
a surprise
any
to me.
secrets anymore?
Not many.
Well,
not for Marty.
Marty wants Jay to go home, so he explains everything about putting up Betty, and I was just like,
yeah, but
wow.
He didn't give Betty a heads up before this, so Betty was like, what the crap is that?
Yeah.
She's not happy about it.
All right, so some weird endings here. We got Kevin saying he's a bad boy.
That felt weird.
That felt dirty.
It felt weird.
And then we have Betty saying that Marty lit a fire in her butt.
Yeah.
Not on her butt, in her butt.
Ah! Sounds painful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our chat, and we're sticking to it. Let us know what you all thought of this episode in the comments. Who are you hoping will be leaving this week, and who are you rooting for to win the next HOH? Let us know.
Okay.
I'd like to see not one of the bros win HOH.
I'd like to see Kyle go home. Sorry.
I think a Jess HOH could be a lot of fun.
What about a Betty
I think a Betty HOH could be a hell of a good time.
Spicy V 2.0?
Yeah, that would be fun.
All right. Let us know. And until next time,
much love.